When the kids are fighting, your toddler is throwing a tantrum for the 100th time over something that is so small, your newborn screaming at you, and you are sleep deprived, and negative emotion can really weigh you down. But in today's video, I'm sharing with you a strategy that we are using to try and encourage a loving, positive, and uplifting environment for our little family. So if you want to know what we're doing, then stay tuned for today's video. Give it a big thumbs up because it really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and tap that bell so you get notified when we upload on Mondays and Thursdays, because we're all about parenting with a plan, and today we're parenting in love, and there's even a PDF for you to download. When you think of your own family unit as a workplace, you know that as an adult, when you have a whole mix of personalities, there are going to be conflicts as well as good times, and a family is no different. In our household, we currently have a 4.5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 5-month-old baby, which means the emotional development of all three kids is at different stages, and it's still very heightened. Kids at this age still don't have logical reasoning kicked on in their brain, and they are all about that primitive brain that fight, flights, and flees. And when something comes up, they're not going to logically think about the pros and cons and whatever. They're just going to give an emotional response, and it is going to be full on. Here in our household, we are all about parenting with a plan, and just because our kids are currently presenting us with so much heightened emotions doesn't mean that we have to accept that that's the way it is. Which means as a parent, I personally feel the full force of everyone's negativity, and it really has been starting to wear me down, and especially with Amira going back to school and her just coming home exhausted. She's not able to process her emotions as well as she used to, which means most afternoons can really hit the fan. We personally believe that it is our job to help them process their emotions, to train them so that they can understand what they're feeling and make the right choices, rather than being encompassed by this heightened emotion and feeling like just because they're feeling it means that it's right, and so therefore they can make choices based out of that emotion. So what is love, and how can we define it so that our kids are making loving choices, and for us as parents to know how to parent them in love? For our little family, we went to the Bible and we went to the very well-known verse in 1 Corinthians about what love is. I then made this language really kid-friendly, and I've created a PDF for you to download if you want to make something similar as well. You can head into the description box below, go over to our website and download it for free. Using kid-friendly language means that the kids know what love is. I've really tried to look at who they are as little people in their age groups and figured out what is a reasonable expectation for them. With Zoe being a 2-year-old, I'm looking at love attributes like being kind and patient. For Amira, I'm looking at the fact that love is truthful and it doesn't boast and it's not jealous. And for me personally, I'm looking at the fact that love does not get angry and it keeps no records of wrong. This Bible verse really is going to help us to stop and think about whether we're going to get consumed by an emotion or if we can actually be peaceful and calm and positive and loving towards each other. Mick and I then discussed the fact of when we're trying to encourage this new behavior, did we want it as a reward system, a demerit system, or a bit of both? While we were discussing this, the idea came to me because at school we have a picture book called The Bucket Filler, and I will leave a link to a YouTube video of that in the description box below, where it talks about how our actions can fill people's buckets, or they can be bucket dippers where it empties the love out of our bucket. So from this story, I then created a bit of a reward system where when we are doing something that is loving based off our Corinthians Bible verse, the kids will get a love heart that goes into their bucket. At the same time, it does mean that if the kids are being a bucket dipper, we will give them probably 2 warnings. One, to get them to stop and think about it. The second one is the real verbal, like this is your last chance warning. And on the 3rd time, it will take away a love heart from their bucket because they've been a bucket dipper. Our plan is to obviously not focus on bucket dipping, but it is just that consequence for the fact that there is a loving action and a not so loving action. And when they are not being loving, it does actually hurt someone's feelings. And I really want them to stop and think about the choices that they're making so that they are continually thinking, is this a loving choice? Recently, I've come to the realization that the relationship between Amira and Zoe is the way that Amira treats her peers at school. And having a little sister can be so difficult because she's just naturally inclined to be bossy and to take charge, and obviously at school she's not going to make friends that way. I'm really praying that through this loving acts of kindness that she will grow to learn how to be a loving, kind, supportive sister, friend, and daughter. And for me personally as a mom, I'm really wanting to stop and think, because I know that I can get angry way too fast, and I really do need to stop and breathe and think about the way that I parent, because the way in which I interact with my kids is how they interact with each other, because it's monkey see, monkey do. And what I want from my kids, I have to expect from myself. The best thing of all is that the person who has done the most acts of love gets to pick what we eat for our special family dinner. This is coming at no extra expense or cost to us as parents. We love to celebrate our special family dinners every Friday night. And if you haven't watched our meal planning video, then you can head over to that video after this and check out how we meal plan for a month. But I love to have a night of cooking once a week. I love to share in a fun celebratory meal with my family. And so that is the reward for the person who has got the most acts of love. They'll get to pick whether we eat sushi or pizza or Thai or fish and chips, whatever they feel like, that is what we are going to partake in. This is how we are trying to encourage a loving, positive, and uplifting environment here in our household with our acts of love display. I love the fact that it's interactive, that the kids get a visual to see how they're going. It's also great affirmation because as soon as they do something, they get that instant gratification of making a good choice. Over time, this will become muscle memory. And I'm also looking forward to getting out of this rut of being controlled by my emotions as well and being a good example for my own kids. If you have liked today's video and you want to download the free PDF, then please go down into the description box below, head over to our website, and you can click on the blog post that will take you to that PDF. But as always, if you have found this video inspirational, helpful, or just good food for thought, then please give it a big thumbs up. It really does support my channel. Don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and tap the bell so you get notified when we upload on Mondays and Thursdays, because we're all about parenting with a plan, because this parenting gig doesn't come with a rule book. We only have each other. And I'll see you in our next video.